Hello, and welcome to another guitar and improvisation podcast episode. We're going to talk about pentatonics for playing changes. So, in this talk, our goal is to outline changes. So, we're going to play pretty closely or inside to some chords. We're going to work with the changes of Stella by Starlight. One thing that's really great about thinking about pentatonics is a lot of us guitarists know pentatonics really well and may have even started with that particular scale or note collection at the very beginning when we first picked up the instrument. So we'll talk about two basic note collections for pentatonics and some of the often used modes of those. So first off, let's take a E minor pentatonic scale. So that fits really great on E minor 7. It fits really well on a minor 11 type chord. And we of course have other modes of this. Something that would work well on a G major type sound and others as well. So that's a note collection with 5 modes. Now, another pentatonic type note collection that may be somewhat lesser known or talked about is the minor 6 pentatonic. So in that case, we'd play something like this. Okay, so it's really just one note that's different there. Versus. Okay, so it's this note versus this note. D versus C sharp. So this can work really nicely for, of course, an E minor 6 or tonic minor type moments and tunes. Another way that this is very useful in typical jazz repertoire is that it does something to help with the voice leading tendencies on a 2-5. So if we played E minor 7, let's say we had a 2-5 in D, then we might play E minor pentatonic for that. And then when we get to the A7, play the E minor 6 pentatonic, which has another name, and it's from the mode of A. So that would be A dominant pentatonic. So there we talked about really just two different note collections. Of course, you want to practice this with 12 different root notes. But I mentioned a few chords, and these are really just simply chord scales related from the pentatonic to whatever chord I'm working with there. Now, here's a concept that will really help you to work with other chord types that may not fit so well within the modes of these type of note collections or scales. So what we can do is alter these two note collections or these two types of scales, the E minor pentatonic and the E minor 6 pentatonic, to suit the chord that we're working with. So let's say we have Stella by Starlight. We know we have moments in the tune where we might play 2-5 in B flat major. And like we talked about, we can use these two types of note collections to work at that. So that would be C minor pentatonic and the F dominant pentatonic or C minor 6 pentatonic. So any moments like that, like a 2-5 to E flat, these two pentatonic scales will serve us really well. Now, what if we have something like we do at the beginning of this tune where we have an E minor 7 flat 5? Well, I'll offer you a couple of approaches that you can work with on that. Well, we can use a mode of the dominant pentatonic. So that would be C dominant pentatonic as it relates to E minor 7 flat 5. Another option here would be to alter the E minor pentatonic by lowering the fifth. So here we have the concept of changing either one of those two note collections that we talked about in the beginning to fit well and suggest the chord that we're working with. In the first case, I actually pulled from one of those two with the C dominant pentatonic. And then we have this other nice option that suits it pretty well, which would be the E minor pentatonic with a lowered fifth. Okay, well, this chord, the minor 7 flat 5, is often going to be followed by an A dominant 7th with a flat 9. So what first comes to mind here could be the dominant pentatonic, but what are we going to do about the natural 9? Well, that's where we can alter the dominant pentatonic to fit the chord. So we'll lower the 9. Okay, so that will suit quite a few moments within this tune, Stella by Starlight, but of course you can use this on different tunes. So we have an A minor 7 flat 5. Maybe we'll use A minor pentatonic, but flat the 5, alter it. D7 flat 9, instead of playing the D dominant pentatonic, we will lower the 9 to work with the chord. And the dominant pentatonic can really be altered in quite a lot of ways. Let's say we have G, we could have G7 sharp 9. We could have the sharp 9 with the flat 13. And so many different combinations. Keep the root flat 7 in the third, and work with different combinations of the 9 and the fifth lowered raised ninth. My hope is that this talk will help get you started with using pentatonics and maybe using some things that you already know well and just making some changes and adapt them to work at playing chord changes. Main goal of this talk is to be able to play inside and suggest what the changes are, but there are many more things that you can do with pentatonic scales. We have a talk and some playing examples on my website, which is open for you to view when you register for free at the website. And we have a PDF download that works with that as well. So check the link down below in the description. Also, there's a video version of this podcast available for members of Lessons and Talks on YouTube, as well as in the member area of footprints.com. Please sign up to our email newsletter to get free PDFs, tips, and links to exclusive live streams. Have a great practice session. I hope this stimulates some ideas for your sessions.